Now today's Nightmare Field adventure, we're heading back to the Huntsville Expo. Now we were there a couple years ago and that was one of our first videos. And in this one you're going to see my brother again. It was his birthday, so this is his birthday gift. So we did get a lot of autographs and we had some really great experiences. But we asked you guys to stay tuned to the end after the autograph haul. Give our real opinions and thoughts of the guests. We did have a couple of bad interactions we want to talk about. And
we have a surprise announcement to make.
Yeah, so stay tuned till the end, but with all that said, let's get right into the convention. This is the way. So this is actually the line for Weird Al. This is a long line. This is the overflow line. We hadn't even got inside, and we're in one line for Weird Al. Not complaining, actually proud. So, unfortunately, I didn't realize that my mic had died. While she let me film the entire time we were at her table, I have zero audio from it, and this was one of my best interactions at this convention. Kim Rhodes is one of the best people that you can meet from this cast. We talked for I don't even know how long at her table about her character, Sheriff Jody. And by the time it was done, she had came around the table just to give me a hug and thank me for the entire conversation. We even got to talk about Wayward Sisters, the spinoff that never happened for Supernatural. And I cannot recommend meeting her enough. So if you see her, stop by and say hi. I'm trying to get everyone I can on that. It's going to fill it up. Say, everyone's been asking that.
Gosh darn it!
But I think I got this right before you were introduced in season 11.
I'm used to it. I'm not on many posters. There's too many characters to include.
Oh, red? Yes. Oh, wow, I love that pen.
Thanks. Yeah, I like red for Amara.
What was the biggest challenge in playing God's sister for you?
Honestly, the biggest challenge for me, because I'd never shot anything where I was supposed to have like superpowers, and so it felt very strange at first to, they would tell me to just like stand there and put my arm out, and then people were gonna like die and flail around, and I was like, don't I need to do something? And so it was sort of a process to trust that it would eventually look great, because when you're doing it, it just feels so weird.
Right.
And then I got used to it, and it was a lot easier.
I really enjoyed your character. I think you brought something, like, you're the darkness, but you brought so much light to it.
Thank you.
The roles just reversed
I
with
love that they made her very complex.
Yes.
And it was a joy to get to represent, this character who was introduced as a villain, but you could see where her anger came from and that pain, and you could relate to her on that level. I could relate to her on that level.
Yeah.
And so that made it easy, because I don't know what it's like to be a deity. There's no like concept I have for that, but I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and frustrated that I can't communicate what I want to get out. And so all of that helped when I was trying to sort of suss out where she was coming from.
You did an amazing job, and thank you so much. There you go. I want to say happy 30th on it.
Yeah. You say you want me to say happy? What'd you say?
No, happy 30th anniversary on it. Yeah, no problem.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I know.
My brain can't wrap. I can't wrap my brain around that one yet.
I love to ask everyone from this cast, when you hear the actual word Mallrats, what's the very first thing that comes to mind?
Just the movie, I guess. I mean, honestly, at this point, it's just gratefulness.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be a part of it. Yeah.
When I was talking to Jason Lee, he was like nostalgia and his first movie, and just everyone seems to have.
It was just, something that I don't think that I realized it was going to be as big of a part of my life as it has become.
Right.
Because it was a miserable failure at the box office.
Yeah.
But it takes growth, it takes the audience, and it keeps it
together. Got home
together.
with their beers and bottles and started watching it. And then they started going, oh, this is actually funny. Yeah, so.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, we hope you enjoyed that look of everything we did at the Huntsville Expo this year.
Now to the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get the bad out of the way. I am a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, and I have never got to meet anyone in that cast up until this con. So, really excited about it.
That's all he talked about,
Yep.
pretty much.
So, let's talk about Emma Caulfield first.
Oh,
Yeah. One of the most disinterested talent celebrities I've ever encountered at a convention.
yeah.
Spent not just my time with her, but all 3 days of the con just glued to her phone, paying no one attention. I mean, you had to pay her to get her to even look at you, and it's not even with a smile. You can tell she's very disinterested in even being there. It's not the fact that she didn't let us film. A lot of the celebrities
Said
get
no.
to choose. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a few that said no, and we totally respect that, and still had the most amazing interactions with them.
Right. So that doesn't deter us from meeting you if you don't want us to film the interaction. We just always ask.
Yep.
Now, I paid for it. Now, Rose, her prices aren't exactly how they're listed. So it doesn't tell you that she charges for quotes. But I paid for a quote. She didn't put the quote. Had to go back to her handler for the quote to only see Emma roll her eyes at me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So to add to it,
And she was a $90 combo
yes,
with $5. Was it $5 extra?
$10.
$10 extra for the quote. $10.
Yes. Now, just put that in perspective. Weird Al was at this con charging a $100 combo. Weird Al, not some side character on Buffy that gets killed off. So,
Brian Austin Green.
Brian Austin Green,
Combo. Tori Spelling.
$100 combo. Anya, side character from Buffy, $100 combo.
Yeah.
Like if you want a quote. And just to add to it, she put up an Instagram video, I think it was on the last day, kind of mocking, it felt like, what it is to meet her. Just making fun of the whole situation. Well, making fun of the whole situation got your table empty for 3 days.
There was hardly anybody there.
Nobody. And I've even looked to see if anybody's posted any pictures with them, and it's few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say them, Charisma Carpenter. So we waited to get there for her to get her a table. And this is where my brother also comes in. He stands away from us. She doesn't even know we're associated.
Mm-hmm.
We ask her the same question, do you care if we film? And she goes, well, I don't know what the rules are, but
she was like,
no. And we all laughed. We go to film, and that's why you see what little bit we have is because she immediately stopped us and said, are we done with this? That's a complete 180 attitude change. It's like, yeah, we can be. So turn it off, go to ask my question, which was a simple question. In all the years of playing Cordelia, what's the biggest growth you saw out of your character that you're proud of?
Yeah.
Halfway through her answering, she looks, my mic is still attached. And she goes, oh, are you still recording me? Are you still recording me? Pissed her off enough, she showed her the phone that was laying down.
Like, you told us no, so we stopped. You wanted us to stop. And we respect that out of all of the artists. If they don't want to be filmed, if they don't want to be photoed, that is their prerogative. And we still love to meet you.
Exactly. And now, as far as the question goes, you just heard the question.
Yeah.
She said, I'm sorry, that's a loaded question and it's too confusing. I guess when she got the visions. And that was that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hear at least 3 or 4 times how uncomfortable she was. She was uncomfortable being filmed all of a sudden. She was uncomfortable with the question. And then when it came to take the picture, which she had to do, I handed her my phone, which has a little base to it. She looked at it like it was the newest technology in the world and was like, I can't use this. I'm uncomfortable with this. I just can't. So she pulls out her phone.
And she wouldn't let me take the photo because I was going to take the photo of the two of them. She had to take the photo herself, which that's the first time I've ever had an artist do that, like, ever.
Like, if you're like Jason Mewes, will take the phone and give you all silly pictures, but not be demanding that, no, she has to do it.
Yeah.
So it was probably, and it's probably because of my fandom and everything, but this is out of all the cons, these two were the worst that I've ever encountered. And charisma charges $90 as well.
$90 combo.
So overpriced, and I'm sorry, but as much as I love Buffy, both of y'all are only known for one thing. You're not there for your fans. You mock your fans. You don't take time with them, and you overcharge, especially for two characters that get killed off in the same franchise you're known for. So try and keep that in mind and what your IMDb page is when you are interacting with fans and what they are there for in the future. You probably won't see this, but if you do, just know I'm one of the big fanboys out there for Buffy, still trying to keep it alive. You guys aren't.
It's really sad. It's really sad.
Now
to the good.
To the good.
Yes.
So for me, Kim Rhodes, Supernatural.
Awesome.
No, my mic died on me. I know that. But most personable person there.
Yeah.
And, she gave me a huge hug at the end of it.
And she was like, go ahead and film and
doesn't care.
Give us an amazing story and answer and everything. And unfortunately, little technical difficulties, but it still was the most amazing. Also, Felicia Day.
Felicia
Day was amazing. She asked us not to film, but we could take a photo, and that was, what we showed you. But she was just super excited to be there, happy to see us. We talked about the Comic-Con that we're taking with her, and we talked about cruising and all this stuff, and it was just she really took her time with us. And she didn't want to be filmed, but still gave her fans
what they're wanting. Yep. Oh, and let me go back to charisma for a second. The reason I brought up my brother, he went up to her and was talking about season 3 and 4, and she just immediately said to him, "Yeah, it was all good till season 4," and just went deadpan on him. And he was like, "Well, I enjoy season 4," and she just went, "No, it sucked. Sorry, it sucked." And that was the end of their interaction. So just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah.
I'm just ill about it.
Very ill. Very ill. They're spending that much money.
Yes.
At least give me a smile and a signature and,
Or don't show up.
Yeah.
Just don't.
If you don't want to be there.
The other really good, and they're a tie because I did not expect it. You know who I'm naming.
What, my two?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, I had put out there that I could not wait to meet Brian Austin Green. He's my absolute favorite from 90210, and, just in my childhood and everything, I could not wait to meet him. And what an amazing encounter.
Yeah.
I was just so starstruck, we didn't even film. I just wanted to meet him and be present and talk with him. There wasn't anybody at his table at the time we got there, and I just wanted to spend my time and talk to him. And he was just hugging us and talking about the Terminator.
When I brought up Terminator, he lit up and gave me a hug, and I was like, I wasn't expecting this.
And what a great. And I actually wasn't going to meet Tori Spelling. I know there's been some press on her that she may or may not have been, a great person to meet. I really had a different impression in meeting her. And when I saw her at this convention with her fans and just smiling and happy and just super excited, hugging everybody and just really wanting to be there, I was like, okay, we're meeting her too. And I'm so glad I did because, Donna and David are my Ross and Rachel.
But so we just wanted to give y'all a little quick roundup of the good and the bad. We hope to attend Huntsville again in the future. Our 2 bad interactions, no way deterred us at all.
Oh, no, we still super enjoyed the con. Had a really great time.
But
they really know how to work it there, though. I do have to say.
Yes.
They had their line control really well. They took you out into this outer area and had different overflow lines, and they were taking people in so that it wasn't all crowded in the artist row.
Artist row
I really
clear.
Commend them on that. That was really awesome.
Even
so you weren't packed.
That long line you guys saw in the beginning of this video might have taken 10, 15-minute stops from the end to get all the way inside. Exactly. It was just that quick.
They were very, very efficient with their lines. I do, commend them on that. It was super busy on Saturday. It got to the point of like, elbow room here, it was just,
I can't breathe.
but for some reason, like Artist Alley still had room because of the way that they were controlling the lines. And it was, again, I commend them for that. Now to our
Surprise announcement.
Yes. So we're going to be attending Nashville Horror Con in July. And
so we're not just going to be media there. We are going to be featured guests with our own 45-minute panel.
Yes.
Called Horror Content Creators Unleashed.
Yes.
So if you are in the Nashville area come July, come check us out at Nashville Horror Con.
Yes.
We will be talking about everything that you don't see behind the scenes of what it takes to make our videos, what we go through at conventions. We'll be taking questions, and we'll have a few surprise people popping in to say hi and give you their advice about cons as well.
So definitely don't miss Nashville Horror Con.
Yeah. It's going to be a dream come true. After 2 years, we get our own panel. So it's going to be like 5 people.
Hey, those 5 people are going to have a great experience.
But until next time, we got Smoky Mountain Terror coming up at the end of May.
Yep.
We're going to be featured media there, so hopefully giving you guys many more autograph signings and many more interviews. But until then, we'll see you around.
Bye.